Well, good day, everybody. I'm Russ Reed, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Center for the Biotechnology Workforce, located here at Forsyth Technical Community College in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And we're in the lovely facility called the Innovation Quarter in downtown Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I'm thrilled today because we have a special guest with us, and her name is Kathy Proctor. Kathy, welcome to SciTech.
Hi.
Kathy, we're going to just introduce Sean Killebrew, who's our trusty media technician. Sean, good to see you.
Great to be here, Russ. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, now you're both our proud Forsyth Technical Community College graduates, are you not?
Yes.
Excellent. So, Kathy, you graduated in 2010, and you graduated from the biotech program. Can you tell us a little bit about your biotech program experience?
It was very educational and a very learning experience. I really enjoyed my time there. The teachers were excellent. Some of them took extra time, like Dr. Davis. When I was first started the biotech program, I met with him about 2 times a week, and he tutored me through a lot of the, catching up with the stuff that I needed to learn and getting through the basic lab techniques. So, the teachers were great, and I found them very educational and very knowledgeable of the program.
Kathy, tell us a little bit more about your experience, taking the program, and maybe talk to us a little bit about your internship and, whether or not you had some struggles or whatever. That would be really interesting for our folks.
Well, when I first started the program, I had been out of school for a few years, and so I had a lot of catching up that I needed to do. And so therefore, like I said, Dr. Shalua was my first teacher, and then Dr. Davis, he also tutored me, through the chemistry and catching up with all the chemistry because I had a lot to do. So it was a real struggle. And there was even one day I remember I was so discouraged that I didn't go to class that day. And I think Dr. Shalua told me, he said, "I thought you had quit." He said, "I'm so glad you came back." And I stuck with it, and I finished that semester, and it's like each semester built on the other one. And so, I got, so it was a little bit easier, and I got to know the teachers and the classmates, and I still have some of the classmates that are my friends to this day from where I was in school there. So, it was a very learning experience and something that I really enjoyed. It was a big part of my life.
Now, Kathy, I know you and I've had discussions for years, and I know that you had special circumstances coming into the college. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I was a single mother. I had 2 daughters. And as you know, it's tough sometimes when you have kids to, you have to take care of them and then do your class. And then I had to work, and I got laid off from my job in 2009. And I thought, this is my opportunity to finish and go back and really get my degree, because it was something that I had wanted for a long time. And I wanted my children to see how important an education is. And I'm proud to say that both of my daughters did get their degrees, their 4-year degree, but I wanted them to see how important an education is and how it can change your life, because it really changed my life.
Well, I think that's a good segue to turn it over to Sean to ask you a question about work.
Sounds like you had a really transformative experience, and that's what we're really trying to go for at Forsyth Tech. But I'd like to know a little bit about your work history.
Okay. Well, the biotech program, it was great, but I spent like 30 some years working in the furniture industry. And so I got laid off from that. And, at that time, that industry was competing with China, and they lost a lot of jobs. And so I wanted this. I had started this program. And like I said, during the period of that time, I had to quit because of my girls. And I thought, I wanted to change my life, and I was very interested in the biotechnology program. So I took that opportunity to go back to school and finish and get my degree. And when I graduated, I got a job. I had to get a job. I had been out of work for like 2.5 years. And so my first job was in quality assurance at a company in Lexington. And I worked there for 3 years, and then I got a job with Herbalife in Winston. And I spent 8 years, and I started as a Tech 1, and I worked my way up to supervisor. I helped develop the environmental program there that they do the swabbing and testing for Listeria and Salmonella and staph. And so I helped develop that, working side with micro. So that's been very interesting. And I'm currently now employed by a biopharmaceutical company down here in RTP. And they take cells, it's a cancer cell, and they grow that cell, they multiply it like in one media to another, and then they harvest it, and they would go through 3 different purification steps. And it's the cell that's being grown, it'll be used to treat cancer, lung cancer. So yeah, it's still learning. It's always a learning experience. And this is the most enjoyable job I've ever had.
Well, I heard a rumor that you're kind of famous, aren't you?
Just a little bit. I got invited by President Obama to the White House in 2011.
Well,
And
that's
so,
fantastic.
yeah, that was an interesting trip. They flew me and both of my daughters up to Washington, D.C., and I got to sit at the State of the Union.
Wow. I bet
Yeah,
that was an experience all to
got
itself.
to meet Michelle Obama and everything. It was a great experience. I've never experienced anything like that before. So, yeah, it was exciting.
Wow.
Kathy, I'd like to talk a little bit about the skills that you learned, the education and the skills that you picked up that you think have really helped you along the way since you've been in the workforce in the biotech area.
Okay, in the biotech program, they teach us about the clean room, the aseptic techniques, and how crucial those are. So that's some of the biggest skills that I learned with this. They teach you about the um, packing, like the column and the process of the media transfer and stuff like that. But the aseptic technique skills have been a big benefit to me, helping me, and then how to process cells and put them in incubators and so that type of process.
Kathy, a little bit more on, if you may, a little bit more on your current job and what you do in terms, you're a supervisor, are you not?
Not right now. I am a MQA compliance and regulatory specialist
Okay.
is what
Tell
my
us a little bit,
classification. I
tell us a
was a
little bit,
supervisor.
yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I go in and monitor their program, and while they're working, I make sure that they're sticking to the GMP process. That's a big thing about the GMP. And just, I monitor if they have questions. Do we need to put a comment? What, are we okay to do this? Or if they have a hiccup or something doesn't go right, I help them work through that issue and what they need to do as far as like getting a comment or what can we do, what can't we do, as far as, it's just, it's monitoring their documentation and their processes. So I do a lot of shadowing them as they're doing the purification of the protein.
Very good. So you're shadowing. And Kathy, looking back now, was the Forsyth Tech Biotech program the right choice?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. It was a great choice. One of the best choices I ever made, because it has really changed my life. Yeah, more, in so many ways. Yeah, I've down where, like I said, I work down here now in RTP in a biopharma company, which I don't think, I know I would have never had that opportunity if I wouldn't have went back and got my degree.
And
So,
Kathy, you know, is everything that we told you when you came into the college more or less come to pass?
oh yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. But it's a path that you really have to stick with. And it just one thing, one door will open another, and it's a great, if you're making connections, You're getting to know people in the industry. So, and so hard work and just sticking to it and finishing it. And it's like I said, it's a process. Not everything is just, wow, like golden doors opening up. But, as you work through things and you stick with it and you get to know people, it's very much worth it.
And rewarding?
Yeah, oh yeah, very rewarding. This is the best job I've ever had. The most interesting job. And I think I like this job the best of any job I've ever had.
And Kathy, may I be so bold to say, is it well paid?
Excuse me?
May I be so bold to ask if it's well paid?
Oh yes, the best money I've ever made. Oh yeah.
Great. Kathy, one last question. How do you keep your skills up to date?
They do constant training and retraining. When you get into this industry, you have SOPs that you follow, but it is a constant retraining and learning new processes because it's always evolving. What I was doing 10 years ago has now changed, and that's what makes it so interesting, is that you're always learning and it's always evolving. And the companies also, they're constantly retraining. So yes, it's training and retraining. It's like, matter of fact, the next 2 weeks, that's mostly what we're going to be doing is training on the processes and stuff.
Excellent.
So,
thank you, Kathy. I think I asked you about your internship, but I don't think you had a chance to mention it when you were at Forsyth Tech. Was that an important element of your training?
oh, very much so. I did a internship at Wake Forest Baptist. It was done in cancer research. And so that currently is now what we do. We do, like I said, we grow cells and purify and, through and transfer them through different size medias. And then it goes through a purification process. And so that's and it's a cancer cell that's used for cancer treatment, which was what my internship was in.
Now, Kathy, just wrapping it up, and I want to thank you and Sean for coming to SciTech today, but you mentioned you were that single mom and you had those two daughters. How's the family?
Oh, they're great. They are both, like I said, they have both graduated with a 4-year degree, and one of them is in school still to get her master's degree in the innovative technology program, in food science. So yeah, they're both. I'm proud of both of them. So that's what I'm probably most proud of.
That's pretty cool. And that's Kathy Proctor. That's your story as it stands now, Kathy, I think, right?
Yep, that's how it stands now.
Sean, what do you think?
It's exciting to hear a story like this. Honestly, it is to see such a transformation occur, and then to be passing that down to your daughters and to watch them reach lofty goals. It's really it's fantastic to see that. I'm so happy and proud to be a part of Forsyth Tech, and I'm glad that Forsyth Tech was a part of that journey.
Yep. I'm happy that I was a part of Forsyth Tech too, because like I said, they really influenced and changed my life.
That's
And
fantastic.
also, and you think about it, they changed my life, but not also they're changing my daughter's lives.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, so that will change their children's lives. So, whatever you do, like Forsyth Tech, it influences so many people outside, and it keeps on, influencing and changing people's lives.
Absolutely.
So Kathy, if a few takeaways from me, don't give up,
Yep.
be persistent.
Yep.
If you're having struggles, ask for help.
Yep. That's it. Because that's what I had to do my first semester there. Because I will tell you, I struggled. I got in that and I thought, what am I into? And Dr. Davis, I'll never forget, he tutored me through that class. And, so all the teachers have always, there at Forsyth Tech, have always been great inspiration. I almost felt like at the end they were my friends, because we built these bonds, so, all the teachers there was a great help, and Dr. Davis especially. And I'm so grateful to Forsyth Tech for what they taught and how they helped change my life.
Right. Well, Kathy, thanks for joining us today on SciTech. And Sean, thanks very much for helping us out here. You're always so diligent and helpful in making sure that these videos turn out really well. I think, Kathy, we've done a special video here today, and on behalf of the college and our National Center for the Biotechnology Workforce, thanks for joining us today.